What are you still mad about? That I made it to the final two for a very good marketing job in a hiring process with WWE 6 years ago, only for at the final hour when they made their decision, a former employee got wind of the job and just texted the hiring manager, and both of us were out. I graduated in 2008, in the middle of that recession. There were no jobs available because I was magically overqualified with my college degree and underqualified with no experience. I got one interview and I was perfect for the job, but the employer said that I lived too far away. The commute would have been an hour and 10 minutes. But I was willing to move because I had just finished school and there was nothing keeping me in my college town. The interviewer just kept shaking his head saying, "That's too far of a drive. Dude, fucking listen to me. It would have been an awesome job." I was talking to my neighbor after school one day, and had asked me how my stepmom's pregnancy was doing. I didn't know what he was talking about, so he showed me a picture of a positive pregnancy test my stepmom had sent him 2 days prior. I had told my parents I was upset that they did not tell me. They denied it. When I confronted my dad in the parking lot about him lying to me, he told me he does not lie to me. An amp, #X200B. About 2 months later, my stepmom walks up to me and says, "Since you already know I'm pregnant, it's a girl by the way, edit, my neighbor is not the father of the child. He has his wonderful partner. I have gay neighbors." Christmas Day when I was 8 I rode my brand new scooter to grandma's to show my uncle and left it in the front yard. I came out with my uncle less than 5 minutes later and someone stole that motherfucker. Edit, I don't remember this but I was talking to my brother. Apparently he was there too and got his scooter stolen as well. Bank of America doing their best to fuck up my home loan 10 years ago. Even though it eventually was sorted out, my blood pressure rises every time I think about it. Last year, on Father's Day, I found out that my father had passed away weeks prior. His wife, not my mother, kept that information from me purposely, and even used his cell phone and pretended to be him via text after he had passed. I will never get over this. Edit, thank you all for the kind words. I rarely post and this kinda blew up so I'll answer a few questions. I don't know if there's an inheritance. I've been told he blew a lot of his money on medical expenses and she was basically paying for everything at the end. I've called the probate court pretty much every month since it happened and nothing has been filed. I'm doing okay at best. It's been tough at times. Obviously this past weekend was rough, which I think is why I decided to randomly reply to this quest. I currently don't have an insurance, though that is changing soon, so I haven't been able to speak to anyone about it. Being the only second grade class in the history of my school to miss out in the annual apple picking trip, all because a group of boys had been consistently acting out for a while. The teachers believed the best way to punish them was to pull the field trip from everyone. Of course, the boys didn't learn anything from it, and I was left quite bitter. Only being invited to my in-laws' house because they need something technology-related fixed under the guise of food. Like, 6 years ago I was on vacation and had my oldest cousin pet sit my cats. We were only on vacay for 2 weeks. When we came back, she clearly didn't go in the house. The food and water bowls were completely empty, the litter boxes weren't cleaned, etc. And when I confronted her about it, her response, "Oh, I forgot. It's not that big of a deal anyway. I now understand it's not petty in the fucking slightest." When I was 21, away at college, someone broke into my mom's house when she was away, it was over Christmas, and robbed her blind. The good thing, for her, was her homeowner's insurance covered and replaced everything, so her extremely out-of-date TV and stereo, etc., were all replaced with brand spanking new ones. What sucked for me is that no one noticed that my room had been rifled through and my entire comic book collection, which I'd been collecting since I was 5 years old, was gone. Also, all my old tabletop RPG books. Here's one that got stolen. I bought it new at my local game store when I was 13. https://www.abooks.com/dungeons-dragons-basic-rules-set-box/300761856/bd?mark/cm_cs_shop_dash-na and amp equals cj kajwukfabreya-wazirksmusk_wc-wldash-atemcleing-lcg29pnzcfgggzc1 tokuro-cg94 cogged_boy closing parenthesis, and boxed sets had been cherry-picked off my bookcase in such a way that no one but me realized there were gaps. Some of those books were gifts, with inscriptions and everything. Because no one noticed my stuff was gone for over a year, I was outside of the window where my mom's homeowner's insurance would have paid to replace my things. I'm 46 years old. I wish upon those thieves a lifetime of paper cuts. My mom gave away our PS4 to my uncle. Edit. Some of you asked why she did it, so I wanted to reply. It is not the first time she does stuff like that. Her usual reply is, "You don't use it," or, "It is just a game." The PS4 is just the most recent. I have a bunch of stories off her, so maybe I should go to insane porn like someone commented. Sorry for the bad English, it is not my first language. I was at a skating competition about 4 hours away. I came home and found out my aunt had given my cats away to the SPCA and left before I came home, so I couldn't confront her about it. Fuck you, Aunt K. My dad always harassed me for not liking watermelon. He called me picky. I was one of the most open-minded kid eaters ever. I ate everything put in front of me. My dad would not eat squash. The hypocrisy. In second grade, some kid asked me what I thought of his cube building. I told him it was priceless. He promptly called the teacher over and told her that I had insulted his building. She agreed with him and put me in detention after class. If you're reading this, you can go fuck yourself, Garrett. An amp, #X200B. Edit. Thank you all for making this miserable memory a little less miserable. I think I speak for all of us when we say, fuck you, Garrett. Two things. In 1998, when I was 13 years old, the Smashing Pumpkins played a free concert in Minneapolis. I had never been to a concert before, but I convinced my mom to let me go. I had plans with my best friend and was super excited. That was until one of the neighbors needed a last-minute babysitter overnight to watch her infant and toddler. Mom decided I was doing that instead. She paid me $100 for the work, and I remember that being the first redesigned $100 bill I had ever seen, but I missed the concert. 100K people showed up. Yeah, it probably would have been a nightmare situation with that many people and me being so young, but I didn't get to be a part of it, and people are still talking about it. An amp, #X200B. At my old job we had 2 community fridges for everyone to bring their lunches, and freezers for us to store some bulk stuff. I had a box of corn dogs in the freezer. One day, I went to the break room to make a corn dog for lunch. I put my hand in the box, and was infuriated to find out that not only had all of my corn dogs been eaten by someone that was not me, rather than throwing the box away, they filled the box with ice cubes to weigh it down and put it back in the freezer. We all labeled our food with our names and dates, so whoever took my lunch knew it was my lunch. I know people's lunch gets stolen at work all the time. It's the audacity of weighing the box down and putting it back that really makes me mad. This was 7 or 8 years ago and I'm still mad about it. Never did find out who did it either. So back when I was in kindergarten, my class has a huge snitch. We were doing arts and crafts and I ended up getting her as a partner. She said my name, and when I turned around, the string I was holding ended up hitting her in the arm, a string, and she cried and told the teacher, had to move my clip down, and my parents kept telling me, don't hit people. After all that, I still hate her. That my parents sold my longboard that I bought and kept the money to themselves. When I was 9 years old, my friend and I had the original red and yellow Pokémon games. We spent months getting every Pokémon we can and evolving them to complete the Pokédex. We saved up our money and bought a link cable just so we can trade. Another month or so my friend's parents buy him blue version. We were ecstatic. We rushed through the game just to collect the exclusives to that game and trade it with one another. We each were at 149 Pokémon. One day my younger cousin, 5 years old, came over and wanted to play my Game Boy. I was afraid of letting him play on my saved file that I started a new game for him and handed him the Game Boy to play. Later on that day I took my Game Boy and went over to my friend's house. I started up the game and saw Player Ash, Badges 0, Pokédex 1, Time 013. My heart sank when I saw that. I knew exactly what happened. That little dipshit saved over my file. I was bawling when it happened and my 8-year-old friend was consoling me saying it's going to be okay and we're going to do it all over again. We never did. When I confronted my cousin he said he didn't know what he was doing and pushed every button in the start menu. Still mad about it today. I will never get Magmar. I will never get 150 ever again. When I was in kindergarten, my school had a student Olympics where all the kids would participate in physical competitions, like sprinting and jump ropes or other kid-friendly competitions. I was in the lead for the sprinting competition and it was the final lap. I was gonna win. I was so close. But one of my classmates ran behind me and shoved me down, making my knee bleed profusely. I don't care that I was injured. I'm just fucking pissed that that dipshit won. He didn't even get in trouble. I'm still pissed about that. Fuck you, Michael. I had a friend as close as a brother steal $500 cash from my wallet and proceed to abuse the fuck out of my kindness. Good news is I got the money all back after he realized I was on to his theft and not falling for his lies. Bad news is he sliced my couch up, pretended to find $200 of the $500 trying to masquerade his theft. He even said I should give him a cut of that even though I was still out $300. My couch is still ruined, too, and I sleep on that thing. No longer associated with him, but I really wanna curb stomp his bitch ass. My mom let my sister play Nintendogs on my DS. She wanted to buy a new dog. The problem was to do that she had to delete another dog and she deleted Bello, my best dog that I had trained for over a year. My sister was 4 at the time but I am still mad about it. My best friend in 7th grade texted me while pretending to be her mom. She texted me saying that she had killed herself. And when I saw my friend in person the next week, she laughed when I told her that I had thrown up because I cried so hard. Now I have major trust issues and I still have a grudge on her. I went to a very Catholic school and a teacher I had when I was 7 years old told everybody who WPULD listened that she could see the devil in me. It took me the better part of 2 decades to realize I wasn't a piece of shit because of her. I still kinda feel guilty about, like, existing.